We've been talking about the wisdom of St. Ignatius for almost a year now. We're going to shift the focus a little bit. We're going to take advantage of the change in the liturgical year that today, Ash Wednesday, represents to begin to look at things that have to do with the early Jesuits themselves, or Jesuits in general, and what wisdom we can derive from them. It's kind of a transition point. I want to talk about the Jesuits who came to Rome from Venice in order to speak to the Pope about their desire to place themselves at the service of the Pope. It was Ignatius, and it was Lainus, and it was Pierre Fabre who came to Rome originally. And during that first Lent, Ignatius went off to Monte Cassino, the famous Benedictine monastery, and there near the monastery, he began to direct people through the spiritual exercises himself. He had been doing that to some degree in Rome, crisscrossing the city every day, 2 or 3 times to reach the people. But he kind of retired during Lent to Monte Cassino with some people and guided them through the exercises. Some of them would be very important later in the way that they were able to help the society, because they had found how the spirituality of the Jesuits really spoke to them. And on his way back, he met a young man who had just been fired from working with the cardinal, was on his way to Naples. And in talking to him and then leading him through the exercises, he won him over for the Jesuits, and he became an extremely important preacher of the exercises. And St. Ignatius respected him practically above anybody else to give the first week of the exercises. For us, the point that we can derive from this is that this Lent, perhaps we can take a page from Ignatius's book and from those early Jesuits who spent that first Lent doing a lot of work, spiritual work with people, and ask ourselves if we need to renew in one way or another our spiritual commitments, our spiritual practices, and offer to the Lord a little bit more time and perhaps a little bit more fervor in bringing ourselves to prayer and to all those wonderful spiritual works that we can do during Lent. We know that today many of us are asked to fast, to give up meat. Perhaps there are other things too that this Lent we can do, and learn from Ignatius that our Lents can really change our lives and change the lives of others. And that's the wisdom of the Jesuits, the first one for today.